Angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you guys are here and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you guys. Today's video is a story time because recently I received an email from a hacker who claimed that they had hacked into every single one of my devices, including all of my cameras, and that they'd obtained imagery, videos, all of the above, personal information on me, and that if I didn't send them money within 48 hours, they were going to release all of these things that they supposedly had on me. Now, by the end of it, I realized that this is a huge scam going on, but I wanted to share with you guys the contents of the email that I received, my personal experience with it, and put it out there as a warning to any of you to not fall victim to these horrible people who are out there trying to instill fear in people to take advantage of them financially. So that is basically today's video. It's just gonna be an eerie story regarding the human race because I've told you guys so many times, I'm not scared of the paranormal. I am scared of what human beings are capable of doing to one another, and while this is on the lower end of the spectrum of terrifying things human beings are doing out there in the world, I feel like because I have this platform, I want to share with you guys my personal experience with this, and hopefully none of you will ever fall victim to these types of people. So without further ado, let's get into today's story time. So this actually happened to me when my grandma was still sick and in the hospital. So my mind in this moment was not where it should be. Typically, I'm really good at picking up on what is scams and whatnot. I actually have some friends who often fall victim to these internet scams. One of my friends was over at my house and she received a text message that her parcel was stuck at customs and she had to go in and pay $2 to get her parcel. She actually happened to be waiting for a package that she knew was gonna have duty fees, and so she paid it and then later found out it was not actually UPS, it was USP or something of that nature. It was it had the similar looking logo, so if you didn't look deeper and you were expecting that, you would just pay it. But I'm normally pretty dang good at not falling for anything. I don't get scared of those chain emails that we all get now and then. But as I mentioned, at this particular point in time, my brain just wasn't really thinking right. And I specifically remember Tyler and I were driving to go pick up dog food, and he was in the driver's seat, I was in the passenger seat, and I was checking my email. All of a sudden, I see this email and it's titled, "You have 48 hours." I forget what it was, but I was like, what is this? And I clicked on it. Now, I'm normally pretty good at picking up on when it's a chain scamming email, but the way that this was worded right off the get-go had me a little bit nervous. It said my email and it said my first name and it said, "You don't know who I am, but I know exactly who you are." I do want to mention I was going to read you guys my email, but I wound up putting it in my junk and didn't realize that my junk deletes after 10 days. So I don't even have the email anymore. But I'll summarize it for you and give you the gist of what was said. So it basically started out by saying that I don't know them, but they know me very, very well, and they've been watching me for the past couple of weeks and everything that I do. They said that they had hacked into every single device within my household. They had been in my emails, my banking, basically everything of mine was at their disposal, and that they had obtained personal, private, sensitive videos and pictures of me, and that they were going to go ahead and release them. Now, it spent time in the first portion of the video not saying what necessarily it was that they had on me, so to speak, but it was going into the fact that they that no antivirus would be able to detect them, that they've passed through that they were able to buy my information on the markets because it's not that hard to do these days, which had me thinking about how I did the video on the dark web and how people are selling people's information, etc. And it went on. This was a long email. So I was starting to sweat a little bit because I was like, okay, they know my first name, they have my email. They said that they have all these things on me. I was just so confused, but in my head I was also like, I know for a fact that this isn't true. But I'm still reading it. And then, this is where they messed up. They said that they knew the sites that I frequented that were adult sites, and that they knew my genre that I was interested in, and that they had videos of me exploring said sites. And right then and there, I knew it was a lie. I knew it was a scam. Not that I thought it was real before, but they just sounded so professional in the beginning of the email. I was like, oh my God, am I a victim of hacking? But then when they said that, I was like, okay, number one, nope, not me. Number two, even if I did do that, I have like covers on all of my cameras in my house. Like my webcams are all covered, all of that. So I was like, not only do I know that you don't have any videos of me doing that, and not only do I know that you haven't seen me frequenting these websites, but I also know that even if you did, you wouldn't have seen me. So at this point, I just continued to read the email to see like what the purpose of this was and why this was sent to me, etc. And so they continued on to say, don't tell anybody about this. If you do, I will know, which is just such a mean scare tactic. Like the entire time I was picturing somebody who was older who didn't understand this and would have believed it. And so they said, don't tell anybody. If you do, I'll know, in which case all of that's going to be leaked. They said, don't go to the police because same thing, it will be leaked and they won't be able to find me. He said like he was encrypted, they wouldn't be able to find him. And then they went on to say that I had precisely 48 hours from the moment of receiving said email to send them, I forget how much it was. I think it was like 2,800 Bitcoin. Like they wanted me to pay them in Bitcoin, and it was like a few thousand. And then they tried to be reasonable and kind by the end of it. They were like, look, I don't want to release these things on you. I really don't want to put you through this because I know you'll lose your job and I know people will never look at you the same. So if you send the money, I promise I will delete any and everything that I have on you and it will be as though you never knew me. And then they closed out the email. Now, obviously, I put it to my junk. I knew that it was a lie, but I decided to Google this and see like if people are falling for these types of things. And when I Googled it, it said that it's a huge scam going around. Now, here's where it got confusing though, is that I read on some of the forums that some people's passwords were actually compromised. So the hacker would say, hey, I know this email and I know this password and I have all these things on you. And because it was a legitimate password, people were sending the money. But what they were instructed to do instead, if I'm not mistaken, was just change their passwords. But on other ones, they were saying that it's just like maybe your email was out there floating around. They got your email and they decided to send this out in hopes of putting fear into you and therefore getting exactly what it was that they wanted, which was your money. But I mean, it's just funny to me because I initially, if my head was in the right place, I would have started reading that email and been like, delete. Like I obviously know that's just a scam email. But because it had like my email address and my name and all this, I was like, oh my God, did somebody get my information? And thank God what they were threatening me with is something that I absolutely knew they didn't have on me. So I didn't even care. And obviously after further investigation, this is something that people are just doing in order to get some cryptocurrency off of people. But it just makes me so sad because I've heard of so many scams that people fall for. Like this one aside, this one's kind of stupid and comical. I actually pictured like some married businessman who got this email and would be like, oh shoot, my wife can't know, and like pays, which obviously isn't funny. It's just, it's an interesting thought to see the type of audience that they could target. But there have been some really heartbreaking scams that I've seen. Like I've heard of people calling the elderly, pretending to be their grandchild, saying I'm kidnapped or I'm in trouble, send money. I know for a fact there are plenty of elderly people who have fallen for the scam of, I need money, please buy it in like iTunes cards and Apple cards and gift cards and send it to me, in which case it's just a scam. And I just think that it's so heartbreaking that people take advantage of, number one, people's trust and beliefs in what people tell them, and number two, the fear that they instill into people. So I felt like it was important for me to share this funny little story. It's funny in my case because I didn't fall for it. And I got a good laugh afterwards when I was like, that's what you're threatening me with? Like, okay. But it makes me sad to think that somebody out there may receive a similar email and then actually pay the money and wind up finding out that it was just a scam. So I wanted to share my experience with you guys today and just remind you, like, be so careful on the internet. Not everybody is looking out for one another. There are people who prey on people online in multiple avenues, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I just want you all to be safe while online in absolutely every single way. And just, if someone sends you a questionable email, look it up. It's probably an ongoing scam, and just stay safe out there, because that would have been a pretty hefty payout for something that didn't even exist. With that being said though, although this was obviously a fake scam, I do think that it's very important to practice like safety online, making sure that you're, changing your passwords, that your passwords aren't basic passwords. I personally enjoy having webcam covers on my computers. Maybe I'm paranoid, maybe I'm not. The idea actually started because I like taking baths and watching my iPad or my laptop in the bathroom, and I just felt so weird, like someone could be watching me. So I ended up buying some on Amazon. They're so cool. They like slide open and close. So like if I want to be on Zoom, I can pop it open, but if I don't want people to see me, I can close it up. But yeah, just be very careful online. Protect your privacy, protect yourself. And that is my story time of how I had a hacker blackmail me with non-existent footage that they had on me. In fact, they even went as far as to say, this email was sent from within your email. But then like it was a different email. I don't know. That is basically my story time. I wanted to share it with you guys just so that we can all be made aware of little scams going around. And just keep in mind that just because somebody has your email address and that they're quoted in the email doesn't necessarily mean they have XYZ they say they have on you. You can look it up if you guys are interested, but that is it for today's video. Before I go, I just wanted to let you guys know I didn't do any promoting of it over the past month because obviously life has been insane and crazy, but I did drop 2 crystal kits that I am so excited about, one of which being an anxiety kit. Now disclaimer, I am not claiming that this kit will cure your anxiety, but it's full of crystals that help calm, soothe, and just really raise your vibration to assist you in feeling the best that you can. And we also launched an angelic crystal kit, which just raises your vibration and is perfect for anybody looking to connect with their higher selves or the angelic realm. So I will have a link to Crystal Clarity down below. We have so many kits now. I am so proud of this crystal shop, and so is my grams, and I'm just so excited to continue on this journey. So I will link that down below for you guys. And yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would seriously love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you.